Streamline your business with Javis Tax Services Payroll Services. We offer hassle-free payroll and direct deposit services for companies of all sizes. Our experts ensure that every detail is handled from setup to reporting. At Javis Tax Service, our cost-effective payroll solutions allow you to put your focus back on running your company. Call us today for a consultation and learn more about our payroll services. Call Javis Tax Service at 851-7112. That's 851-7112. Streamline your business with Javis Tax Services Payroll Services. We offer hassle-free payroll and direct deposit services for companies of all sizes. Our experts ensure that every detail is handled from setup to reporting. At Javis Tax Service, our cost-effective payroll solutions allow you to put your focus back on running your company. Call us today for a consultation and learn more about our payroll services. Call Javis Tax Service at 851-7112. That's 851-7112.
All right.
Now we on. All right.
What up, Facebook? What up, YouTube? What up, Periscope? What up, iHeartRadio? What's happening?
What's up?
What's up?
What's going on, everybody?
We got
Thank y'all for
shout
tuning in live.
Wait a minute.
Turn your radio down.
Turn your radio down.
What's that mean? Oh, that might be Sam.
Come on, Sam. You a vet, man. You know better.
Hey, me, I'm on silent. No, I'm not.
Come on, Sam.
Come on.
What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank everybody for tuning in as we work through the technical difficulties.
Oh, my goodness.
We are live on
Is this?
Now
Facebook, YouTube,
I'm on
Spreaker,
silent. No, I'm not.
iHeartRadio. We're now on iHeartRadio. Shouts out to iHeartRadio.
Shouts out, man.
The Freethinkers Radio app. Download the app if you haven't gotten it yet.
It's oldie.
Also the freethinkersradio.com. We have not forgot about that. If you don't have the app and you need to get online, just go online to freethinkersradio.com. You will see us there. Also YouTube and also Periscope. So thank everybody that's watching.
Yep.
And make sure you hit that share button. Invite your followers, man. Make sure if you are looking at the topic, man, make sure you get ready to join in on the conversation, man. Today we're talking about LeCrae, Christian rap, and quote unquote the box.
To be or not to be a Christian rapper? That is the question.
They say they got us in a box. Oh, no. That just felt right. It just felt right to do that right now.
Somebody lay hands on
I don't know.
Yeah, we ready.
Oh, yeah, we ready. Let's go.
Are we on?
Yeah, we on.
What's up, Ashley?
Yes, I am the lamb that he promised you see, who gave my life so that you can be free. Through all the blood that I shed on the tree, give it all of me. Hey, when it come to my life, I'ma tell it how it is. I'm a razor, a soldier, she prepare me for the field. And my father was with me about every day.
With that hammer in his hand.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep it real. Don't judge me, cause my life was so ugly. And I be speaking it plain. Cause who's a been to go till he stepped outside of the flame? Though I'm able, I know I won't survive my battle with Cain. But my death will give my brother an audience with the kings.
And what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Jay Will, and you are now tuned in to another episode of Urban City Radio, where we bring you the sounds of boots on the ground.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ice.
What's going on? This your guy AC the Future, and we got three special guests in the building. Go ahead and tell them your names.
What's up? This is Patrice Williams. How y'all doing?
What's going on? Sam Goody,
The vet.
FGFG.
What's up? This is girl Sierra, blessed in the house.
In the
Blessing the.
Yo, what's going on, man? We got a dope show for you today. Ace, what is the show about today?
Today we are talking about LeCrae, Christian rap, and quote unquote the box. There's gonna be several different subtopics and all kind of things that we're gonna get into, man. But that's just three main ideas to sum up what we're dealing with. Jay, go ahead and tell them why we do the show.
Yo, so the reason we do this show, we believe there is a resurgence of believers being called back to the city to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we want to highlight the usage of Christian hip-hop and urban ministry and urban missions. Boot up.
So big shouts out to Urban City Radio. We are now on iHeartRadio.
Say that!
Yes, sir.
Say that! Turn
Made it. Look, mama, I made it.
We doing big things. So if you can't catch us on Facebook Live or any of our others, you can actually catch us on iHeartRadio.
Yes, sir. I told somebody that this week. They said, I got that app. I love iHeartRadio. I said, you need to love our show too then.
That's it. We'll be back. Urban City Radio.
Boot up.
Is this the exclusive?
This is exclusive.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm gonna be quiet.
No, I mean,
This is our own superstar.
I'm not a superstar.
AC the Future.
AC got my verse.
Well, that's enough about me.
Oh. Bruh, I love you, bruh.
Better follow them guys up, man.
No, follow us up because yeah.
Yeah, follow that and wait for that album to drop.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, that Remnant in the Making album is gonna be woo.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a couple albums to drop.
What's going on, Vision Prong, Peace King? What's up, Shiona, Maurice Jacobs, Camion Stuckey, Dana Allen? I see y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that share button. Make sure you hit them hearts. I see them hearts. Continue to hit them hearts.
Keep hitting.
And if y'all think there's a box in Christian hip hop, let us know.
Yeah,
if y'all don't think there's a box, also let us know. We want to talk about it.
Yeah, y'all crazy. I already said y'all crazy.
You talking about you?
No.
That's Tupac.
What?
I had to do a second look too.
Oh, you talking about his profile? Yeah, okay. Oh, what's going on? Lakeisha.
Hey, Daddy.
Certified Save Apparel in the building. Dwayne Hudson, what's going on, bro?
What's up, Ivory?
Christian rapper. You can't tell the difference.
Pay no attention to the background noise.
What?
Be quiet so we can listen to the music then.
Church pop. Marie says church pop.
AC, can I afford you for a feature?
I'll afford you
Can I
for a
afford,
feature.
can I
We are
afford you?
back.
What's up, Tori?
Urban City Radio.
Urban City Radio, we are back, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate everybody that's on the live feed and everybody that's listening through the various outlets, including iHeartRadio. So shout out to them, man. We are now on them live. Today's topic, today's show, we are talking about LeCrae, Christian rap, Christian hip hop, or however you want to title it, and quote unquote the box. So first off, let's go ahead and just talk about LeCrae and some of the moves that he's been making lately. Jay, how do you feel about some of the stuff that you've seen LeCrae doing as of late?
Their business moves. I mean, I'll be real with you. In the past 4 years, LeCrae has probably made some of the dopest business moves our artists would love to make. Of course, a lot of artists want to open up for a lot of NBA teams, or want to also be able to hang out with a lot of the artists behind the scenes, performing at doggone South by Southwest. Like, LeCrae is making dope business moves. At the end of the day, now, do I feel like he denouncing Christian hip hop and saying there's a box in Christian hip hop? Do I agree with that? That's up for discussion. What do you think, AC?
So if it's up for discussion, why not? Anyway,
we gonna get into the discussion.
Okay, let's redirect the question to our guest. I just wanted to get Jay's opinion before we started, because I've already had some dialogue with Jay. But how do y'all feel about some of the current decisions that we've seen LeCrae make? A lot of them have sparked a lot of controversy on social media and other sites. So I just wanted we kind of delve into that. How do y'all feel about it? Anybody? Go.
Oh, y'all just gonna stare.
I mean, I didn't see the BET Awards at all, but I did see the clip of LeCrae's acceptance speech or whatever. And I saw that there was a lot of backlash about that. I feel like, I don't know, at the end of the day, people are going to have something to say about everything. But, you know, he kind of rushed through his speech a little bit. I don't necessarily agree with him feeling like there is, I don't know, like, you know, when I was disappointed when he said he no longer wanted to be known as a Christian rapper. So, that wasn't me.
That probably was me. But so you're saying you were disappointed about his new stance is kind of disappointing to you?
It was initially, but you know, I agree with Jay Will. You know, he is making some dope business moves. But I was disappointed because I had just at that point started listening to LeCrae, and then I remember like right after I was getting into LeCrae, that's when he made that announcement, and everybody just kind of went crazy. But I mean, I understand why.
But just in case, if we have any listeners that don't like Sierra never saw the BET Awards and possibly never saw the clip, when he received the award, basically the statement that LeCrae made, he was saying that there are a lot of good, talented gospel artists in this category, but I'm just an inspirational artist who they let in. And then he began to give accolades to other artists such as Lauryn Hill, Chance the Rapper, who are also inspirational artists. And then, of course, he said thanks to God first, but like she said, he kind of rushed through the statement. So a lot of people were generating buzz about that because they felt like he kind of downplayed, first of all, the category, and he basically downplayed his stance on that category. Call.
I mean, I looked at the clip. I didn't watch the BET Awards, but the part that he said about not being a gospel artist, I didn't feel nothing about that, because when you're talking about the genres of music, he is not a gospel artist.
Say that.
He's not a gospel artist, and I feel like that's what he was talking about. I don't feel like in that sense that he was saying I'm not trying to proclaim the gospel. But now things that happened prior to that, like his BET interview like years ago, I didn't feel good about that. You know, I think he said something like I don't want to be known as a Christian rapper, because people feel when you hear Christian rap, you just think whack off the top or whatever. And see, I understand that too, but at the same time, it is what it is. If you know, I think for me being a Christian comes before me being a rapper. Everything that I do is a part. Being a Christian is a part of everything that I do. Right. So I mean, why would I want to detach that from what I'm doing? But at the same time, it just this topic is just.
But see, it's one that's necessary because. Like for me, you know, when I first got saved, you know, and I see it happen a lot of times. As a matter of fact, whenever you're a new convert, they find out you like rap. One of the first people who they point you towards is probably LeCrae or his music, especially Rebel. You know, with the modern music that he's making now, that's going to still be. Is he still the point man? You know, do we still say, you know, go check out LeCrae's new song?
I don't think he want to be the point man, and people need to let it go. Let him go. He said it's getting awkward.
Yeah,
he don't want the gospel award, and he got it, and it was like, y'all, thank y'all, but I'm not. This ain't really. He trying to separate himself from it.
He is,
and nobody don't know his reasons. Like we can't really examine his heart or what he about, but it's coming out his mouth. It's pretty clear he don't want to be connected with the gospel music.
Okay, I'm playing devil's advocate today. For one thing, the acceptance of speech was a regular acceptance of speech. That's how I seen it as. It's just like, yo, thank my Lord and Savior. He's inspired. He's a rapper that was just put in that category. Second thing is the label that he's no longer choosing is just what he's doing. It's a bit like Jay said. It's a business move. He's trying to get from under that label so that he can broaden his horizon.
Reach Records?
I mean, Reach Records itself, they have like artists that are Christian, but they are rappers.
No, you said he's trying to get from under Reach Records?
No, not from
the label of Christian rapper.
That's what I was about to say.
Under the label of Christian rapper. As a Christian rapper.
He just want to be a rapper.
He wants to be a rapper who is a Christian, where he just wants to make music that is inspiring. Like I was reading something on him where he was saying like, he wants to be, you have that hit 'em up pop, and you have that Dear Mama Keep Your Head Up pop. He wants to be on that Dear Mama Keep Your Head Up pop. You see what I'm saying? Like he doesn't want the label so that he can reach masses.
Man, you can't stop no labels.
You really can't, because like everybody, the world will put him in a label label. They already got him labeled as. I feel like that's.
To me, I feel like he has a problem with being separate, like he named Lauryn Hill, you know, them people. He wants to be categorized with them, but as believers, we're automatically supposed to be separate from them. And so, what's going on in your heart and your mind that you don't want to be sanctified or consecrated and be separate? Like God is calling us to be separate.
Well, it ain't even that deep. I mean, the thing is, while he's calling out all these names, you got a devotional out. He got a devotional that's on the Bible app. His first mixtape record that Reach Records put out was actually, they had a little devotional, where will you go if you go to hell kind of thing, a Romans Road. Like, the whole startup for what they did was gospel-centered outreach, urban ministry, and now saying, well, man, I don't want to be seen as ministry. You don't attach yourself to ministry for 10
Exactly.
years.
Right.
Like, what do you want?
I don't think he's
So
saying that.
why
I think
don't
he's
you
saying,
want to be attached to ministry?
I don't think he's saying he doesn't want to be attached to ministry. I think he can still be attached to ministry and do what he has to do, but he doesn't want his music to be attached to ministry.
And see,
But that's how he started.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's the thing that's I guess that's the real thing that people are having an issue with. Is like, you know, when I listened to your music, there was ministry in it. You know, you had songs where you were saying, "Kill me if I don't preach the gospel," and then now you're getting to the place where a lot of your songs you're trying to make. You know, you're making secular moves. A lot of them are business oriented. You still have God in there, but you're not as I don't want to use the word flammable, as direct with it as you were in times past. And it's like, so now people are saying, okay, where are you standing? And he's like, well, you know, don't put labels on me. And that's where we get into the concept of quote unquote the box, because a lot of Christian artists, I've seen it, you know, local, mainstream, they have a concept of, because of the Christian rap label, it puts them in a box where they can't go but so far. And so, me, Jay Will, Ice, you, all of us, we all rappers. What am I talking about? Everybody in here rappers. So, how do y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all really feel like there is a box because of the standard, because of you know, you're seen as a Christian rapper? You think that puts you in a box?
No. I think we put ourselves in a box when we try to mimic what's already been done in the secular realm. Like, I feel like we have, we can create our own lane. Like, that's just what I believe, and that's what we were doing with Detox. We was creating our own lane. We was creating our own thing. You can't put God's kids in a box because we have unlimited creativity. We tap into that. You see what I'm saying? But I feel like we put ourselves in a box when we try to mimic things that are already being done instead of, you know, just taking what God has given us and creating our own lane. That's all we got to do.
I think the genre is growing. I was saying that yesterday. Like, I feel like it's definitely growing. People are taking notice. I'll be honest, when I first started rapping in 2014, I was in that position where I was like, I don't know if I want to be labeled as a Christian rapper, because I honestly felt like Christian rap was whack because of what I was hearing, the songs that I heard. And it wasn't until I started hearing other music, I'm like, oh, it's not just this. You know what I'm saying? So but that's how I felt. But then I got to the point where I'm like, okay, well, what am I ashamed of? Like, you know, I'm a Christian. My life is my ministry, pretty much. So I can't find myself trying to do secular rap and still being a Christian and doing what I'm supposed to do and living right and walking by the word or trying to live right, you know? So it was just, it was easy for me to be like, well, you know.
I want to get to a question we had on social media. It says, but is he saying he's not a Christian, or is he saying his product is not in the Christian/gospel genre? No, he's not saying that he's no longer a Christian. That's not, you know, the concept that he's making. And nobody's really having an issue with that statement. But
I disagree on that, because I see a lot of people having issues, like going as far as saying that man is no longer a Christian. He don't want to be a Christian. Like, he ain't never say that, but because he disassociated his music, they feel like he's made that extreme leap to now he's out.
But see, I can understand why they go to that extreme, because they know him through his music. Yeah, they know his Christian. They know his Christian walk through his music.
Your fans gonna hold you accountable. Yeah. These people been rocking with him since day one. So, you know, a lot of them is hurt or whatnot. I ain't saying it gives them the right to be hurt or whatever, but your fans gonna hold you accountable. You came in rapping, preaching the word. Some people like were fresh out of the world, got on your music, and it helped them through because it was filled with the word. Me, myself, Rebel was the first album I heard from him, and I was like, dog, I didn't know people was doing it like this. Yeah. And it has been a shift. And like, unless you just come out and really say what's going on, you gotta expect people, they gonna make up what they want to make up in their mind until he just really say what it is, because it's a lot of gray area.
Yeah, so because he's not really addressing, you know, the reason behind it, you know, so it's left to speculation and people to make up, you know, what it is they feel like why he could. And that's why you have so many sides. Some people say, I can understand it because I feel like he's doing this, or I don't understand it because I feel like he's doing that. And it's simple. Like, you know, my biggest thing with LeCrae is like, but understand the influence that you have. understand the impact that you have already made. There, regardless of what you feel, there are people that have looked up to you and, you know, say things like, you know, I'm discipled by LeCrae. That might not have been your purpose, that might have not been your mission, but you are up to a higher standard, and that is the responsibility that is with that standard.
Well,
so
I mean, I would say one thing though is you gotta admit, Christian hip hop is a niche rap thing where it's like there's only certain places you really can go. Like, and I'm not talking about like just like, of course we supposed to go all into the world and we supposed to be out there in these streets. I got that, but ain't many bars about to let you come perform your Christian hip hop album because you telling people don't get drunk, humble yourself. They making money off of people getting drunk.
Right.
But you can stand outside the bar.
Yeah, but that's a difference. Now,
It is.
if you standing outside the bar, now you're seen as the fanatic dude or the fanatic female who is bad for business because you running people away from my establishment.
So you saying we should be trying to get in the bars?
No,
What if you ain't trying to get in no bars? You just trying to, like, I understand you trying to reach people, but you can reach people with your message. It's a lot of people who hit me up who is not in the gospel at all, who's not going to church, and they hit me up in my inbox. They might not even like none of my stuff on social media, but they be like, man, I see what you're doing. It's encouraging. Whoop-de-whoop. Like, because we supposed to be the light for the darkness.
Nah.
Like, you could still be the light and still be who you are. You don't have to go to no bars to reach people.
I said bars as an example because the thing about it is every other industry is being funded by these advertisements. You got liquor is funding a lot of music and a lot of genres because they help promote my liquor sales. Not my liquor sales, but you know what I'm saying. You know, and then you got music that goes to stadiums, sporting events. Oh, word, I'm supposed to tell you to be proud. I'm supposed to tell you turn up, get it in. And Christian hip hop a lot of times saying, no, you got to be humble. Of course, you need to be a beast and excellent what you do, but you need to be humble also. So I personally say LeCrae ain't trying to distance himself because of the message itself, but because the niche that comes with the industry that he's in, the genre he's in.
But the question and that's why I'm trying to sit back and wait and watch. But the question I would ask then, okay, so in that process, how tainted will the message become? Will the message still stay genuine, or will it become less and less direct for the sake of, you know, getting the marketing, getting the business, and, you know, because that's the thing. Like, will we still be able to notice the difference, or will we not?
Well, I want to say we talking about LeCrae, but we got to remember when Mary dropped I'm walking. Most people didn't even realize that was a gospel song for like 5-10 years ago. You got to think about it. We're talking about LeCrae right now, but Mary's made that move 10-15 years ago. I
don't think they right either. So, I mean, that's the whole other thing.
Hold on, BB and CeCe Winans, when they did the song I Just Wanna Be Close To, people start playing that at their wedding because it sounds like a generic R&B song until people say, oh, this is gospel.
But they never stopped claiming the genre in which they do their music to do that though.
Well, but that's because they had secular cats come in and shape their genre. You got to think, Motown bowed out the gospel industry. So Motown already had the secular industry looking a certain way. So they said, well, we need you to compete, and this is how we know it competes. That's why if you look at records from 98 to probably now, it started looking like the gospel industry got a lot more sexualized and a lot more.
But I mean, aren't most labels under the big three? I mean, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's gonna be an agenda in there that this just gonna be in there. I mean, we know that. What you were saying about the liquor funding most of the music, that made me think, okay, well, Christians, we ain't up on our business game because we should be funding our own stuff. We should be pushing our own stuff. So I think that starts another conversation.
We had that conversation Monday. Y'all need to go back and check Freethinkers Radio.
I looked
but no, that also brings up the fact that okay, LeCrae Rebel wasn't getting played in the club. I'm Walking, whatever that song was when Mary was getting played in the club. Stomp. Kirk Franklin was getting played in the club. Remember? I don't know if y'all remember. Yeah.
What club?
It would when you in the club,
and like when
that's to make people feel good after all that.
That's not.
Are they gonna go look you up and be like, listen to your other music? You think that people gonna do that after hearing your song in the
So,
club? And figure out that you a Christian and learn something about Christianity.
So are you saying basically like he's focusing more on business now? That's what you thinking instead of ministry?
Yeah.
When it comes to his music, when it comes to
and some people not worried too much about business. Some people are strictly ministry, and they know what the cause why we rapping is just to promote Christ. That's like a lot of people' main cause or why they're rapping. It's to promote Christ.
I get it.
And he could.
So then, all right. So I saw a comment. I want to deal with this real quick. So this Clarice Jeweler said, "It's the God in me" got played in the club.
It's the guy. I remember that.
Okay.
But think about how many ways that could be taken though.
Yeah, because it's like all right.
Because there's so many different beliefs. The God in me, people believe that I'm a God.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because for one, we ain't never sat down and said that the gospel industry wasn't theologically. We never talked about the theological aspect of the gospel industry because it's never been sound.
No,
I mean, it sounds real good, but then I don't think it's really been doctrinal based. Where Christian hip hop, you gotta think these cats came out the gate. Doctrine. Go check out John MacArthur. Go check out these books right here. Yo, the Crimson Cord. Like, you understand, these are books that we have built. People have built their faith around. Or these are pastors and teachers that people built their whole faith around. So now LeCrae trying to separate himself. Yeah, he's doing exactly what the gospel industry did 15, 20 years ago. It's just now it looks bad. It looks a little harder because they were so hardcore. We've been so hardcore theology, doctrine, and you know.
I think the reason why it looks harder is because when you talk about what the gospel industry did, they did it behind the scenes without changing what they called themselves and what they said they were representing. And you talk about what LeCrae is doing, he's saying, I don't even want the label no more, it's just to go into this side of things.
I don't think it's any way for him to excel in his career. Because I see a comment that says, you know, it would be just rapping as a hobby and not instead of a career. I think he has, well, for one, in my mind, once you reach a certain level of success, you're going to bring in a certain level of money. That's going to create a certain lifestyle that you're going to have to, you know, continue to make that kind of money to keep your lifestyle the way you living. And so I feel like that has a lot to do with what LeCrae is doing. My question would be then, you know, where's the balance though? Like how, when we go into this, how much of this in our minds are we thinking this is my career, or how much in our minds should be this is my ministry?
I think the balance come up. Okay, if you look at the story of Guinness, the beer, Guinness beer, right? So the guy who actually started that was a Christian.
Right.
And in Germany, he started the Guinness beer, because a lot of people were dying from alcohol poisoning. So he said, God, give me a recipe that I can make this beer and these people won't be dying from alcohol poisoning no more. And he came up with Guinness beer. Guinness beer happened to be one of the first beers from that time that was distributed as a food and beverage versus alcohol because of the way he was cooking the oats or something like that. He took the money from that and he was the biggest funder of missionaries across the world. LeCrae trying to step into, let me take care of this business, right? Because, you know, I've been trying to do this missionary thing with my music and it's only gotten this far. I started doing business with this music thing and now I got this much money to do this missionary stuff, which I've been trying to fund the whole time. Is that a bad switch?
If that's what he said?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what he's saying because he got to look.
But he never made that statement. he never. But see, that's the thing.
His music isn't the only way that he can make money, though.
I mean,
that would be my.
You got to look at it. Like we said, like we don't know what he do. We don't know what he do outside of music, right?
Yeah.
But we know one thing that he does. He be at conferences. He be at conferences. He's always doing outreach ministry. Of course, he's in the church as well, and he also goes on mission trips. The music funds that.
Yeah, he got to walk around with a flag saying, "Yo, I be funding these missionaries, son."
No, y'all. It sound like you was saying he's doing this so he can fund. I'm pretty sure that ain't the only reason.
I mean, no.
Or like he could just be trying to live that lifestyle and change his lifestyle.
I got bills too now. I got bills too. I got.
But you know, we can't say you know. Because I like you were saying, I mean, I feel like it's other ways that you can make money than to try to, you know, do it with your music and just shift all together when you know, people are following you, people are looking at you, you know what I'm saying? It's just the confusion that it causes. But Even
that's the, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's the question I wanted to ask on the show today. Should we, as Christian artists, or if we're looking to consider ourselves to continue to be Christian artists, should we really be seeking a career? Because it was a statement I saw made maybe about a week ago before we did the show on Monday when Freethinkers, somebody posted and said there's a lot of people who do gospel music thinking about making it big, and that's very foolish. You're doing it for the wrong heart. Are we wrong to look for a career doing Christian rap, gospel music, any of these things because of the quote unquote box?
So when people say, well, you shouldn't make a career out of this, what you mean? For the past 10 years, it's been paying my bills. I'm making $40,000 a year. Teachers make $40,000 a year. How am I not gonna make a career out of this?
Yeah,
I mean, you kind of you've like you said, you already made a career.
Yeah, you've already made a career making at least $40,000. Now, Dave Chappelle, one of my favorite comedians of all time, had a quote, and he said, "You have to know when is your cutoff. What's your price?
You in my head.
Yeah, what's your price? You know, what's the limit? You know." Now, Dave Chappelle walked away from a $50 million contract because, you know what, this price is a little too expensive for me.
And this is what I'm saying about LeCrae. How far are you gonna go? You know what I'm saying? Because when you're trying to make more money, I mean, you'll do whatever you gotta do. I mean, whatever they say they want you, whatever direction they want to take your career in, because he's not, quote unquote, altering his career. You know, he got people all around him, management, they're directing his career. I mean, to what point, what extent will you go, you know, to make the money that you want to make? That's all I'm saying. I think that it should stop at some point, because now everything seems to be diluted. Like, it ain't doing what you first set out for it to do. So why would you do that? Yeah. I don't understand. But it seems like greed, but I can't say that. You know I'm not in his heart, you know, but that's what it kind of seems.
But that sounds simple when this past record just paid all my bills for a year. And now for me to pay these bills next year, I needed to drop a record. You know, and I got more bills this year.
But see, that's because of prior business moves that were made. Because he ain't just, you know, we all know he ain't just making moves willingly. His career has been it's mapped out. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't have to go in this direction. It didn't. It's planned to go in this direction. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to go in this direction.
That's actually a pretty good point, because, you know, a lot of people don't realize that, like, there are a lot of people that go in behind the scenes, especially when you're talking about being a professional artist. You have marketing teams, you have business teams, you have all of these things that help plan and map out your career. And so if you're sitting at the table and all of these people are suggesting what you need to do to make the next step better than the last, then, you know, at what point does personal opinion come in, and at what point do you stand up to say what your personal views are? You know, how do you direct yourself if you're saying, you know, I want to have a certain standard, but I'm hearing because I think we were talking about even on the last show when they were talking about how the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just. So if your influence has caused you to be in a room full of people who know how certain business aspects work to a greater degree than what you know, it would be in your best interest to listen to the wisdom that they're sharing. But at what point do you start looking at that wisdom and saying, okay, now it's causing the integrity that I had to compromise?
Yeah, I want to say Damian Williams said LeCrae should just go on tour, and that's how you should make money. I would say this: I've talked to a lot of touring artists, and they tired of being on the road because they ain't seeing their family. You know, they child growing up without them, their wife ain't seeing them. You know, a lot of them are stumbling because they always on the road.
Okay, so I mean, touring, I kind of disagree. I agree and disagree with you. Of course, your family is number one. That's number one. So, but touring is how you make your money. While you're touring, if you have to be on tour for a year, you know you're not gonna see your family and everything for that year. That's where you stack your bread.
Well, hold on.
You got to stack your bread during that time frame.
Touring is where you make your money where your money ain't working for you much. You got to go out there and get it. That's what touring usually, and usually even on tours, the only way you're really making money is if you're selling merchandise on the tour.
All right, Jay, you got to look at it like this: as an artist, you're not gonna get nothing. Period.
Well, as the owner, I will.
But as an artist, because as an owner, you got to invest back into your business. Mm-hmm. So you're really not getting anything. As an artist, your money is coming from tours and merchandise. You can't, because your sales. You're the owner of your label, right? Your sales has to go back to your label. Because you got to take care of your top money first. You got to take care of your other artists. You got to take care of you. You got to take care of your management, your agent, your booking. You got to take care of all that. That's from your CD sales.
No, yeah, that's from tickets.
No, that's from your CD sales.
No. That's from tickets.
No, Jay, no.
No. What I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, you can look it up. Marketing research. Ticket sales pay all the promoters, managers, songwriters. They don't see that money.
Jay, the publisher pays the songwriters.
Bruh, and you think ticket sales don't go through publishing first?
How your sales go through your promotion?
When you go on tour.
Okay, so side note.
I'm about to say.
Side note. Going back to the topic at hand.
Bro, no, I'm serious. Like, cause you need to know this if you're gonna go on tour. I mean, your merch is where your money coming from. Ask any artist that tour.
What are y'all arguing, that the tour is not lucrative for the artist, or it is? It's of course it's lucrative for some artists, and some artists don't make nothing. That's business, but you can't just put it in a box and say touring ain't where it's at. People are different. People are led differently. They move differently. Some people are heavy on the merchandise. Some people just going on tour to promote their album. So it's like,
it's all about what you're marketing and what's the reason behind it.
But I ain't say tour is not lucrative. I'm saying there's a limit to that lucrative. I mean, because sooner or later, that money you're making, you got to be put back in this. And now you got to weigh out, what are you making versus what you're putting back. And that's where I'm saying, like, really, when he making business move, now I'm opening up for the NBA. I ain't got to tour as much because their checks a lot bigger than the checks I get on these tours.
But LeCrae he don't only have to make money from his music. I mean, he can do anything. Like he can create some type of other businesses. This is what I'm.
He's not.
He don't.
He's not making his money just from music. I mean, he has his artists. KB is making his money. Triple E is making his money.
I'm saying some other business that's totally outside of anything music. What else is he doing? Like,
LeCrae cut grass.
I mean, what else is he doing? What else? Can somebody tell me what other business ventures?
Well, he's the owner of Reach Records.
I mean, I know that. I'm talking about outside of music.
Outside of music.
There isn't anything that I know of.
But he can do something else. I mean, he can.
Write books.
He got books.
I mean, I don't think LeCrae money is a problem.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think. But I ain't saying LeCrae money is a problem. But I am gonna say there's more money on the other side a little bit.
Jay, you got that money in your eyes. That's all. See is the money.
And that's what I'm saying.
What I gotta do for it?
No, for me, I'm just like,
put it on the table.
Hey, I get it. No,
so
I'm like,
is it about just more money?
Hey, I'm just like, I get it, because for one, I understand you put a price here and you trying to achieve that price, but you realize that price ain't gonna do everything you thought was gonna do.
Yo, but what?
But then you talking about bad stewardship though.
Word.
That ain't even just stewardship.
And that's a biblical principle.
But who want to live for the money though? Like, who wants to be? You have to do this for the money. I doubt that's what God wants any of us. Like, where you have to compromise your values for some money.
Right.
Exactly.
Like that. We're doing this for a purpose. Well, he started doing it for a purpose, and I hope all of us keep the purpose in mind and don't let money move you.
That's what I'm saying.
But he started for a purpose, but the purpose is being funded by the money.
But he don't have to change the purpose to make the money. He can go create something.
Who say he's changing the purpose?
He don't have to dilute the purpose. Let's say that.
How?
I can say that.
We can't. All right. So in this topic,
because we running off.
No, we're not running off. We on subject. We on subject. But what it is we gotta. All right. So you know that nobody can really say what's in his heart, but we are speaking on what it looks like and what it views
perception,
like.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking at the perception of the moves that he's making. Now, behind closed doors, they're saying, he's mentoring I think it's like several NBA.
Yeah. Steph Curry is one of the people he's mentoring. I've heard
Kevin Durant as well.
Kevin Durant. I've actually heard him say he's mentoring Hobson, and if you know Hobson, Hobson out there. But that's one of the cats.
That's what's up.
So then maybe he's not doing this for money. He's doing this for more influence.
Yeah, but more money comes with influence.
It goes hand in hand. But we're talking about, okay, this is business. What if he is
the business is for
somebody
him
for the influence? It's because of the influence.
Anybody read his book?
I haven't.
I read an excerpt of it.
There was like, if you read the book, a lot of people who trying to protect them from the bashers. They're like, if you read the book, you'll know what he's doing.
Because there's a statement in the book where I think, well, I haven't read the whole book, but I seen a statement. I can't remember what artist it was. And I don't want to put a name out because I might be wrong, but it was an artist, another Christian rap artist that kind of, you know, dissected the book and wrote a statement back to LeCrae based off an excerpt in the book. And in the book, he was basically talking about being the elephant in the room because of the label. And the book is called Unashamed. And in the book, he was talking about how, you know, he would go in the room with these people and, you know, they would change how they act, how they would respond to him because they knew, you know, they saw him as a Christian rapper. And he was like, that's how it made him very uncomfortable.
It made him uncomfortable?
Yeah. Like, that was like something that he wrote in the book. And so, you know, basically the artist was basically like, you know, okay, so I get it. You say you're unashamed, but yet when you get in this environment and people are, you know, treating you different because of the standard, now you're saying you feel uncomfortable, but yet you're saying unashamed.
How y'all feel about that?
I think so.
You're not unashamed.
No.
But nah, you will feel uncomfortable sometimes.
No, I mean, because I've had that conversation with other people who had Christian-based business. Matter of fact, there was a T-shirt company not a few years ago, and one of the reasons she started changing her branding a little bit is because she said she was sitting around people and they felt they were not good enough to wear her clothes. Because I see the message you're promoting, and I think that message is great, but I feel like that message is basically telling me I'm not good enough. So, and I think that's the stumbling block of the gospel. Let's be honest. The stumbling block of the gospel is you aren't good enough. God is good enough. That's the only reason. The only way to get to God is through God. Yeah. You ain't never gonna be good enough to get to God. Now, how do you say that in a room full of artists and they respect your music? But it's like, dang, but my platform is what got me here. So my platform is me showing everybody I'm good enough to be
I
here.
think back in the day it was like that, you know, back in the day in church it was like you had to be perfect. It wasn't as much transparency as it is now. Like, we tell people you don't have to be perfect. I know the younger artists and stuff, like, we are really on being transparent and try to show people it's not about being perfect. It's about your heart and you serving God and just loving him where you at. And like back in the day, it was like if somebody had a baby or something, they'll move off, they'd be gone for a couple of months and all that. Everybody was ashamed if you did sin. But I think this generation now is not like that. And as far as like when you in a room full of people and they know you saved, and then somebody curse and they be like, my bad. You ain't do nothing. It's just your standard you holding. You ain't even saying y'all better not curse around me or acting like that. It's just the presence of God is on you. People,
right.
People
You can't do nothing about that.
And see, that's the thing. I think when Pastor was talking about it, how when we're in those situations where we're talking with people and they do that and that happens, you know, they say a curse word or whatever, and then they're like, oh, my bad, or they're viewing something and they know our standards, so they be like, oh, well, don't worry about looking at this because da 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 da. But then we turn around and be like, oh, yo, you good, da da da.
Right.
We're giving them permission to disrespect the standard.
Exactly.
And it's like, you know, sometimes we get so caught up in being accepted and being seen as the friendly person, we forget that what they were really doing was honoring where we stood.
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Good.
That's a good point.
And see, I think, you know, when you look at, and I think it's a struggle always because when I look at churches, you know, just not going off topic, but I'm serious right here. When you look at churches, one of the biggest struggles that you see in churches is the separation between ministry and business.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
It's something that they also struggle with, and I believe that's the struggle that LeCrae is here when he's talking about the music that he does. He does have ministry, but then the ministry also, you know, needs a business aspect. But you know, from that standpoint, I think he really damaged himself because he didn't really have a business aspect when he started. But now he's getting into it and he's realizing, okay, I need a business mindset to do some of the things that I really want to do, whatever with this music. And it's like, okay, I get that. But you can't just forsake everything you did all these years for the sake of making newer moves. You got to, and then you can't just do it and not try to address to the people exactly where you're going or what you're doing or how that's, you know.
Man, LeCrae just need to make some real cool shoes, get the best off, let them join, you know, endorse the product, you know what I'm saying, make some money. There you go.
Another thing we got to think about too, Crae is the first person that has reached this platform. So
he doesn't have a point of reference.
Exactly. So he's kind of
making this up as he goes.
Exactly.
I mean, not making it up,
but I mean, no, that's really what it is. He's making up as his go. He's like he's like the blueprint of all the next set of what to do and what not to do.
I say this. I appreciate LeCrae.
Absolutely.
Even the decisions he make now, I appreciate, because I can make decisions about what I want to do as far as my career or
Have Force J Jesus.
Air Force Jesus.
Yeah, right. That's what he need to do right there. There you go.
So you realize secular artists go through this too, right? Artists go commercial and the purest hate.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
I think the other
Pure
side
hip-hop.
of it is he got into a business that's public, where the ministry is usually private, where churches are usually public ministry and private business. So now you're talking about, well, come on, man, he got to be about the ministry, but he's in a public business. He's in, at the end of the day, listen, for real. Reach Records is a business entity. Business entities exist to make money. I'm not even trying to be funny. That's just what a business is. A nonprofit. They had a nonprofit called Reach Life.
What happened to it?
They had to fold. They had to fold because whatever money Reach Records was making obviously wasn't enough to help support Reach Life also. So,
Or were they not allocating it in a way?
no, because they were focusing, all their money was going to Reach Life, where they were doing outreaches, urban ministry. They had a DVD. How many people know LeCrae had a DVD about urban ministry?
But
I'm just saying. Obviously, people wasn't buying it.
y'all was laughing at the shoes,
but to get in the shoes, he had to get in the room. To sell those type of shoes, he has to get in the room.
But he in the room. Nah, I mean, he don't.
Yeah.
No, he's really not. He's almost. He got his foot in.
tiptoed.
He
the best underground rapper out. he the hottest underground rapper with a Grammy.
What's in the room?
He's the hottest underground rapper when you compare him to a secular artist. But when you look at it from the Christian arena, from people.
Oh yeah, he is the top of the line.
Yeah. So then you got to look at what that looks like then for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to look like that you got to see it. I get it if you're looking at it from a secular worldview, but we're talking about from a viewpoint of, if you a Christian and this is what's happening, this is the point man, and this point man makes that decision. That's a big impact for a lot of people, regardless of where you stand.
But you got to think, okay, I love Talib Kweli, one of my favorite rappers of all time. But still, cats going to say he is the greatest conscious underground rapper of all time. They're not going to say, yeah, Talib Kweli, he right up there with Jay. Because Jay's doing different type of business than Talib Kweli is. No. Listen, just listen to me for a second. So, LeCrae, no, I'm just saying, yes, LeCrae has opened up many doors for Christian rappers. That's why NF got signed. He got signed to Columbia because all of a sudden, movies like God's Not Dead is popping off, LeCrae's popping. Maybe there's some Christians that can do some stuff. So we gonna sign this dude. Now, when NF came in, he ain't never come out the gate saying he a Christian rapper. From the get-go, I'm hip-hop, I love Jesus, but I'm hip-hop. LeCrae came out the gate saying, man, it's all about the gospel. It's all about the gospel. Yo, we out here trying to get these cats from hip hop. Now it's like, oh, but hip hop is got a little more impact than I do.
But
I'm just saying. I mean, that at the end of the day, because.
But is that all right? So if you look at it from that standpoint, that actually kind of doesn't make it look good, though.
It don't. As a Christian artist, are we supposed to be trying to get in the room per se, like y'all was saying, or like to a certain extent, we supposed to be separate? Like that's what we supposed to do.
We supposed to have influence. Now, that influence can come from one or two ways, because you gotta think. There's pastors who are also politicians. Now, what the pastors say on stage, when they get off stage, they go sign these bills that we don't know about. And these bills might be something the church stand completely against. But because their business is being a politician and their ministry is about being a public ministry figure teaching theology, we separate the two because they ain't gonna talk about that on the pulpit. Where LeCrae's in a business where he's publicly got to talk about what he's trying to do and privately try to do ministry.
Okay.
That's. Whoa.
Go ahead.
No, that you said he's privately trying to do ministry.
He privately has to do ministry.
Why does he have to
do ministry privately?
Because
so what if? So let me ask you a question. So you signed to a big label, as you are. They signed him. You got signed as a Christian rapper, or whatever. But then they was like, all right, now we need you to cut back on that Jesus talk and the ministry talk. Would you do it?
If they sign me as a Christian artist, that's a completely different conversation.
Well, they signed you as an artist, period. and they know what you was rapping about, but then when you got signed, they saying like dial back on it.
If they
trying to get you somewhere else.
If they just sign you as an artist, they put people around you to create your brand, to create what you're doing. Now, if they sign you as this particular artist, they're expecting this particular thing from you, but they also understand what that particular numbers are going to bring in. LeCrae ain't signed like that. LeCrae ain't with them. And the reason I say he has to do ministry privately in a lot of ways, because if he speak out towards too many things, it's going to affect the future sponsorships he might have. Now we talking about trying to restart tennis shoes. Okay, he starts speaking out too loud against certain groups of people that might be the ones that buy his tennis shoes. He ain't getting them sponsorships.
So it's strictly about business.
Yeah,
that's
and
all,
that to me, that's not right.
When he's in a public business, it's strictly about business.
To me, you're supposed to be on a mission, like, you know what I mean?
That's for ministry.
I struggle with that because it seems like every time I turn around, all I keep hearing is how there's some conformity that's necessary in order to be successful.
And no, it's not.
Because that's the only problem I have now. When I look at biblical examples, even when you talk about how, okay, for example, Jesus having a successful ministry, he had to get influence in every culture, but you didn't see him become, I guess, quote unquote, affected by every culture. You saw him affect people in that culture, and gain their influence, and then send them back out. Now, so it's like I kind of struggle with that idea of I need to conform in order to have a certain level of success.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing it for.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people struggle. It's like we get so caught up on I got to make certain amounts of money to be. That's why I said earlier about it talks about biblical principles about stewardship. So if I am stewarding myself correctly, then it doesn't matter about the amount of money I'm making, because whatever I'm making fits the level of my lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? Because I've already stewarded. So if they say, okay, well, in order for you to get X amount of money, you got to conform this, I don't have to accept that because I steward my life for whatever I'm making now.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're in it for this purpose, then you need to start a nonprofit and run with that nonprofit, and that's a great thing. But if you're saying
sponsor stuff,
and nonprofits make, but they also can use outside resources that aren't under their purpose. They can sell things as long as it's used for fundraising purposes. Now, if you're talking about I'm doing this as a business, then you got to make business decisions.
Okay,
you still can keep your moral. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't say you got to lose your moral.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. It's almost like, man, if you want
Humble Beast did the right thing. Absolutely, they started a nonprofit.
Man, you could.
I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Humble Beast became a nonprofit.
What were you about to say?
Nah, I was just saying you could do what you need to do without compromising. And whatever LeCrae doing, that's on him. I'm just speaking for me, I guess. Like my goal is to do what I need to do without compromising my integrity and my values.
But
that's
what I love. I love the best example I can have is I love the what Steph Curry did with his shoes. He had a Nike deal, but he turned it down simply because they wouldn't let him put the scriptures on the shoe.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
That's what you say about that, Jay.
This is what I was about to say. This is what I'm about to say, because I said I was about to say let's dial it back a little bit.
Okay.
We act like we don't serve God, who is the provider. You see what I'm saying? Like certain opportunity. I know we talking business, but you know what I'm saying? If you can't say what God is telling you to say or what He's placed in your heart, if you can't spit that fire that the Holy Ghost is really influencing you to say because you trying to get sponsors, what is that saying? That's saying that God can't provide for you if you say what He's saying, telling you to say. That you can't gain influence if you doing exactly what God told you to do. Like, I mean, I understand we talking business, but I believe if you do what God is telling you to do, He's going to provide for you. Right. And I mean, I know what y'all saying, influence business. I already, I know y'all, and I know the business aspect of what y'all thinking, but we serve the provider.
It's like, where's your faith at?
Yeah, they don't want to get Kim Burrell.
We serve the provider.
That's what it is.
Speaking of Kim, shout out. That was a dope track. 444. But
yeah, Kim Burrell was on the 444 track.
Yeah. But no, I'm just saying. And I'm a person that's all about ministry. I truthfully am about ministry, but I do understand both aspects. When you sitting in the secular world, that when these people that's about business, they start talking, they talk crazy. They talk reckless real quick.
And he can talk reckless back.
Yeah,
He can talk reckless back.
LeCrae never.
He serves God.
No,
I serve God.
Yeah.
I don't have to do this. He can say that. He can sit at the table and say that if he's bold enough to do that.
And if he has,
And not worry about the sponsors and know that God will provide.
and see, it was a statement made earlier where they're talking about some of the decisions Craig made, and they basically said, now whether his faith lived up to that decision, I can't, say, and that's the real question. Like, I think a lot of people struggle in what they really can believe God for. As far as when they start making decisions, that everybody has different levels of faith and different levels of what they really believe when it comes to scripture. Some people are a lot more practical when it comes to scripture. So they believe that the biblical principles is how I benefit, and it's not as much of a I just believe God and strong faith. And I think that's another struggle in itself.
Well, I want to say, when he started doing this, I'm making this transition, did he ever come out and say, yo, I'm doing this because I want people to learn more about God in the Bible? I'm asking. I'm for anybody. Did LeCrae ever come out and just say, yo, the reason I'm doing this, I'm in this business for people to learn more about God in the Bible? I'm asking, for real. Honest answer. Honest question.
You said, did he say that?
Yeah, I mean, did he say that? Did he ever put that out there?
What you say earlier?
Early lyrics.
He didn't have no banner. Like you said earlier, he ain't need a banner for that.
Earlier he had a banner. Earlier, when
You're talking about when he started making the transition.
Yeah, before it was about business and it was all about ministry, he had the banner was being raised. Yo, it's about the gospel. Kill me if I don't got the gospel. I got all this stuff that's saying gospel, gospel, gospel. And then
I don't understand.
I personally say he realized he was in business, not ministry.
Oh.
Because sooner or later he was like, you know what? I'm supposed to be making money out this business, and what I'm doing is how ministries make money, but not what businesses are doing to make money.
Can we go back to LeCrae never pulled a Kim Burrell? I was saying they don't want to get Kim Burrell, meaning like she was saying people are, and that's so worried about business are not going to say what God might place on their heart because they don't want to get blackballed. That's what I was saying, not personally LeCrae, but a lot of people are not going to be bold and speak thus says the Lord because they know it's unpopular. That's what I was saying. They don't want to get Kim Burrell, like they don't want to get blackballed.
Yeah, but
I believe our generation are supposed to be the ones to do that, and we shouldn't care.
Exactly.
That's what I believe, and I believe that a true revival can take place if we do that and not worry about other stuff.
And I'm saying,
I agree.
Look out for all our nonprofits because we about this ministry. But if we say we about business, we might have to reconstruct.
And I'll say this: I'll say that the modern church doesn't know its own buying power and the influence that we have within our own community.
That's true.
That's the fault that I have. I put myself out there at liberty to the church and however far that will go, but I trust in the buying power of the community of the kingdom. And that's one thing that I believe in because I know it. I've seen what it can do when the kingdom supports the kingdom. I've seen what it does and how it changes the infrastructure. And that's what our real focus should be. We shouldn't be worried about trying to get the influence from the world when we have enough influence in the kingdom. We just need to build it up and get everybody motivated to do what we're supposed to do.
The church got to buy. The church got to buy.
But look.
Speaking of that, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Hey, y'all can go get that Sam Goody single. Go buy that. Cream. Yeah. And also Sierra. What's the single they can go get? It's like 3 of them, ain't it?
About 10.
About 10 about 15
No, that's only 2. It's Who He Is.
Who He Is.
A Better Way.
And A Better Way. Go buy that. Sierra Blessed in the House. Yeah. Sam Goody. Cream. Ice. Pigpen. Doggone AC. Because He Loved Us. Lord.
All of Me.
All of Me. I forgot about that one.
You own it.
I ain't getting checks.
I'm getting checked.
Oh.
Might want to take that up with your ass cap and be about.
There it is. So, Jay, you must ain't got your business right there, son.
Well, I told y'all about that nonprofit.
Speaking of checks, thank y'all for the support, man. I appreciate it. I see it.
Yo, you can catch us every week. iHeartRadio, Freethinkers Radio, Facebook Live, YouTube, Periscope. It's another great episode of Urban City.
Again, I guess.
Yeah, thank you. Y'all made it fun. I'm sweating over here. I'm like, yo, but you don't know, son.
I thought you was gonna slap me one time. Sorry. I just
But yeah, man, we're gonna keep this going on after the show real quick. We want to talk with y'all now. You still gonna hear our thoughts.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments to address.
Yeah, we still got comments to address. We're gonna talk to you, but this is just the show in. This is Urban City Radio, where we bring you the sounds of boots in the ground.
Boot up, baby.
Boot up.
All right, so, we have several comments that came across the board. So after
that time went fast.
Yeah,
I told you.
Right,
I told you.
Y'all making me.
Hey,
hurt.
Dave, you gonna grab a mic?
No, Dave about to shake.
Dave Pentagram's everybody. I can step away now. Hey,
I'm nervous.
Dave, look, tag.
No, I'm about to go home.
Yo, we got Dave Pentagram's.
I don't even think, because to be honest with you, I agree more with the other side than I did yesterday. Okay. To be real with you, just because it goes back to what AC said. All this was planned. Because here's the thing. Okay, and be 100 with y'all.
She said the plan.
Look at the whole LeCrae. Look at the whole LeCrae situation. All right, there was a time when coming out being that dude LeCrae came out as in Real Talk and all that. It was a niche for that. To be an aggressive Christian. There was a budgeting, a marketing niche to be that. How do we know? Because Bizzle did it right.
Yeah.
Bizzle did it better than LeCrae.
Right. He did.
And he ended up to where the only person that could own that space was Bizzle. Yeah. There was no room in that space once Bizzle fully lived out that big, bold, outspoken Christian. There was no more room. It was so much that there was no more room for Seven. There was no more room for Lavoisier. Lavoisier had to go make podcasts.
Yep.
Because Bizzle took up so much of that space in that industry. It's still business. It's just business principles.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If you have to look at, so what happens is, so then LeCrae realizes that he couldn't do it like Bizzle. You had to come at them disrespectfully. You ended up to the point where, in order for Bizzle to go to the next step, Bizzle started using the word nigga.
Yeah.
And he started, you know what I'm saying? He started doing some things because he's trying to show the aggressiveness, even to the part that he kind of went too far with the aggressiveness, but he was actually using the LeCrae plan.
Can y'all hear him on Facebook Live? I want to make sure.
I'm saying, he used the LeCrae plan. So Bizzle used the LeCrae plan and went at LeCrae. If y'all remember,
they did have a little small. Yeah, they did. They did
because that was LeCrae's space that Bizzle took. There was another space for the people who were uncomfortable with church culture. That LeCrae came out with church clothes to fill that void, but LeCrae wasn't talented enough to do it, so Thizzle had to. And then Thizzle took up so much of that space, and then didn't sign with Reach. Then there was the room for the lyricist, the real hip hopper, to show that Christians have this skill level. Andy did sign with Reach, then couldn't stay because he took all LeCrae's. That was LeCrae's space, and Andy took that.
Well, maybe he should.
So, because if we're being honest, LeCrae was never a great rapper,
and
he has not spit 2 minutes. He has not spent 120 minutes in his career that will make you put him on level with Kanye, Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, you name it. Anybody who's been called top 5, Andre 3000, anybody, Eminem, anybody who's been called top 5 over the past 10 years, LeCrae has not produced.
They say your mic
going
in.
It's going in and out.
Oh, is it? Oh man, hold on.
I switch.
Y'all missing all of this? Oh my God, no.
My bad, y'all.
See, just
y'all can hear me now?
It's the Facebook Live. It's the Facebook Live.
Oh, it's the Facebook Live.
Oh yeah, it keep freezing and going.
Oh no. That's we gonna call AT&T about that then. Hey, but I'm just letting me know. Think about that. So think about all the places. So where is he at now? Making a feature song with 1K Few, who's making a song that he can't make.
Oh man, this is
that's a 1K.
He can't make that song.
Yeah,
like he can't.
I was about to say because if you look at it,
he don't have a voice.
It's 1K Few song.
Yeah,
right.
It is.
Yeah. He don't have a voice and his accent. You see what I'm saying? All that stuff matters in music.
I think he should have dropped that before.
So basically, LeCrae was a better businessman than the rest of these guys, but he was never as good a rapper, even really as Tedashii.
Oh man,
yeah, because Tedashii can spit though, for real.
You see what I'm saying? But Tedashii could never brand himself. LeCrae was the only one that could brand himself, and then that Grammy appearance put him in places nobody else could be at. Then he had a chance to meet music execs, because if you don't understand, you can be a music fan all you want to. Music is not ran by artists.
Right.
It is ran by executives. It's ran by people who go to school to learn psychology.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You learn psychology, and that's how you pick what the best songs are. That's how you become an A&R. You understand psychology. You understand social trends. You see what I'm saying? LeCrae was better at that than the other guys were, but these other guys were better rappers. They were better artists. They were better, and they could hold that space because they had the talent to hold that space. Right? So where's LeCrae now? LeCrae's being an ambassador. He's being 47-year-old Jay-Z who that 444 album isn't top 50 this year. By the time December 31st comes, 444 will not be a top 50 record this year. You see what I'm saying? Because these other guys have gotten better, but Jay-Z is still better at what he does, which is the business side. So when you talk about to be a Christian or not to be a Christian, you're gonna have to figure out what's gonna work for you in the space you're trying to fill. Because if we're being biblical, there were people in the kingdom who were also in the palace. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's how, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of times they were in there spying. So someone has to be able to spy.
Yeah.
So if it's not LeCrae, who else has put themselves in a position to be that type of person? I think it's Potiphar's house. Is it yeah, we're in Potiphar. Okay. So yeah, something like that. Yeah. I mean, it's still biblical, right?
But does he still have to make music to do that?
He doesn't have to make, LeCrae doesn't have to make another song.
Right.
Because he's the CEO
That's what
of
I
Rich
think
Records.
he shouldn't do.
The problem is that if LeCrae doesn't make a record, Andy makes no money, Tedashii makes no money, 1K Few makes no money. Anybody who's signed to Reach Record, all of a sudden Reach Record, who's at the top of the game and become, because what they basically set out to try to show how top level rap could be done by Christians. You know what I'm saying? So the only people buying $20,000 beats was Reach. You see what I'm saying? So everybody else rapping over $500 beats, you're not going to compete with Reach.
Yeah.
When they're buying $20,000 productions and you're using $500 production, you just not gonna. That's not gonna work. You see what I'm saying? Even if you have what's my man, the producer for when Swoop and We Live as Kings and all that. What's my man name? No, Alex Faith became a producer, started producing, but Wit.
Yeah,
right.
Wit.
Even if you got Wit, you can't compete with Reach because they're spending so much for their production.
Okay.
So if they're giving you that standard of just the musicality portion of it,
I'm still not understanding why they wouldn't make money if he doesn't make another record.
Because he's the only one that can sell records.
Okay, so he can't sell anything else is what I'm like. When
Selling
I said the
records
shoes,
is
that
what they
was
need to
like
do.
a concept that I was really
right. I get it. I get
he
it.
not sell something else.
Oh no, he can sell something else. The problem is that if he sells something else and he doesn't sell rap, you know how much market share Christian rap loses?
Yeah, that's true.
He is so when you say LeCrae is at the top of the game because he opened up the market share. So since he opened up the market share, and he's opened up market share in a place that really doesn't want that market share to be open to those people, when he leaves, it closes. It will close. When LeCrae stops, it will close. Because business-wise, Swoop ain't ready. Business-wise, Thistle ain't ready. They're not there yet. You see what I'm saying? Andy ain't ready. Andy went to go independent to try to make the same, and then he realized how much it took to get LeCrae where LeCrae was at. Andy's not gonna get where LeCrae's at. Words Play is not gonna get where LeCrae's at. They just don't have the infrastructure. They didn't have the infrastructure even during the rehab days. They upgraded their infrastructure at Reach after the Grammy. You understand that there are 22 Christian hip hop artists who have Grammys now because of one man. LeCrae. When he doesn't sell records, who else is going to compete with Ty Tribbett for a Grammy? You tell me that. Give me one artist right now who is going to who they will name right behind Ty Tribbett and say here and nominees for Christian whatever. We got Ty Tribbett and
don't do that.
But,
Travis Green now.
But I see exactly what you're saying, but it's like since you named Ty Tribbett and the other people, it's like overall you can see the whole market is changing. Like everybody's saying something different now. Like everybody's music sounds different now. Ty Tribbett's music is starting to sound different now. Right. So it's like,
but you got to evolve.
But why did Ty Tribbett change? Because LeCrae beat him.
But see, that's what it is though.
It's still competition.
But it shouldn't be to the point where we start like sounding like you can't even tell the difference between who's who. Like, I mean, why does it have to be like that? That's the part I don't understand.
Is that a new problem though? Because here's the thing: like BB and CeCe Winans sounds like CeCe Peniston. Sounds like let me see. Who's the? You know what I'm saying? I grew up on.
I don't think that's right.
Music
either.
that sounds just like BB and CeCe that was not Christian at all.
Is there no way to? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, somebody.
Brian Courtney Wilson sounds like Jeffrey Osborne.
Somebody with your brain power, right? Like, okay, what could we do? What could be done to like? Why do we have to sound?
You don't. You don't. He's doing it. But he's only doing it because his purpose is not to become Jay, it's to open up the market share. So he's doing what so he's following the market and saying, okay, how can I open up the market share? And honestly, I think truthfully, even these people who are kind of coming at him, but you don't hear a lot from the top guys in the game. When you talk about the top Christian rappers, they don't talk junk about LeCrae because I'm pretty sure they realize that LeCrae is trying to open the door for Swoop. He's trying to open the door for Andy, if Andy gonna act right. You know what I'm saying? And not get into some kind of, I gotta have my own stuff kind of attitude. But yeah, he's holding, you see what I'm saying?
But who's gonna bust through the door unashamed, like how he used to be? Can anybody still do that?
He wasn't gonna bust through the door staying that way.
So you're saying
so nobody can't come bust through the door like that?
He does. I mean, they're gonna have major creativity behind them. They're gonna have Kanye level creativity. Kanye's music was shunned for 5, 6, 7 years, and it wasn't Christian at all. It just wasn't trendy at the time. But his creativity was on a level that he stuck with it until it hit. It was almost like because you got to think about churches. What do churches have advantages normally? Anthony Hamilton. The difference between Anthony Hamilton and LeCrae is just the fact that you never thought of Anthony Hamilton like you thought of LeCrae. But Anthony Hamilton has superior singing talent on stage with him, and a superior band. You put that in rap music and bring that to Christian hip hop, and you kill. But you got to be able to sustain it, and you got to be able to stay with it until it becomes trendy. You see what I'm saying? So it's not really about, you don't have to do what LeCrae did, but you have to do something. And what you can't do is be rapping, Lord kill me if I don't preach the gospel. That does not sell in 2017. You got to change your flow, and you got to change how you do it.
So you saying we need a detox reunion? That's what you saying?
Well, this has been a great show today, everybody. So we'll see y'all next week. See y'all next week.
Is that what you saying?
I'll put money behind that.
Man, something happened to the phone.
Hey, I'll put money behind that. What up with that record though?
So, but just to ask a question. So you're saying that what LeCrae is doing is and he just walked away from the mic. But what LeCrae is doing is basically opening up the market so somebody else behind him would have the access to do what he should have did with Reach with Rebel.
Well, that he was. I mean, he was never. Sorry, I'm so far away from the mic. He was never good enough. That's the thing you have to realize. You have to realize that you're looking at a blessing when you're looking at LeCrae standing where LeCrae is standing, because LeCrae does not have the rapping talent to be standing where he's standing.
So that's why he had to do all of this other stuff that he's doing.
He used propaganda. Understand this. Cats were rapping over secular beats. Cross Movement was rapping over secular beats. You see what I'm saying? It was, you know, with secular producers, Cross Movement was doing that. They would the Truth. They were doing that before they signed the Truth. They were using secular instrumentals. And so when I say secular, I'm not talking about remaking, rehashing beats that are being put out. I'm talking about secular producers were making this music. So for LeCrae to announce that was the business move, and the fact that everybody reacted to it let him know it worked. This ain't nothing new. What's new is the fact that I'm announcing I'm doing it. All these beats that y'all been listening to that y'all like were made by secular producers. Yeah. You just didn't know.
Yeah.
But now you know. And by me opening your eyes to that and then saying, yeah, and I'm doing it because, you know, because I should be able to wear what I want to wear to church. Now the backlash against wearing a suit and tie and all that right there. So he just kind of fit into that, right? And he used that brand wise. He built this brand on being a tradition rebel. And what's everybody now? They're all tradition rebels.
That's true. That is true.
That's LeCrae.
I just don't get why. Okay, I understand everything you're saying, but I don't get why. If look, I'm sure LeCrae knows that he's not that good of a rapper. So why didn't he build all of this on somebody who can rap, who is talented?
Because they ain't 6'7". You ever seen LeCrae? No, what I'm saying, I mean, you got to think about this. Even worked with Donald Trump when Donald Trump talked about the fact that Hillary Clinton didn't have a presidential look. Looks matter. So who has a look? So part of when you talk about who can get where LeCrae's at, you have to be. He's a tall. I'm not gonna call any man handsome, but he's a tall, you know, prototype. You know what I'm saying? Figure dude. And he's 6'7", 6'8", man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You look up at that, like, for real. When I walked up, I was like, no, there's no way you're that tall. But he's absolutely that tall. And that's part of what makes him, you know what I'm saying? So he used that to his advantage in ways that, because he don't have the rap talent. He just doesn't.
I just believe that none of this ain't have to happen.
I mean,
I just feel like he could have just got somebody else that was good to do this. And
at some point, that dude was gonna run up on. See, because here's what happened with LeCrae, and here's what LeCrae's also able to do. He's able to keep from having to battle. Most definitely having to battle a Muslim rapper. He's keeping from having to do that. Right, because that'll be an eat fest. They'll smash him. He get destroyed. Matter of fact, there was a video I remember back before he got big. But he was you know, back when he was doing clubs, and it was some club he was, you know what I'm saying. Well, it wasn't a club. I'm sorry, it wasn't a club. I tell you about it because it's before he would ever, you know what I'm saying. He was, you know, but he was at, like, you know, it looked like a club. It was a youth sanctuary, you know, at a white church, and youth sanctuaries at white churches always look like clubs. So what happens is but they were having it where, you know what I'm saying, so now he gets on stage and some little dude, little Caucasian dude runs out of the stands, grabs a mic and starts battling him and was gonna eat him. Like LeCrae's response was like, you know, he started like rapping with his old school, like slow, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got no swag type of that thing he used to have with real talk and all that. He just rapping all, you know, monotone, but we grow out of that. You know what I'm saying? With the, you know what I'm saying? He went back to doing that. You know what I'm saying? Just to tell the guy, you know, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna, you know, greet you with grace and all that right there. Yeah, you better, cause dude, you ain't had a bar for this little dude. And this dude was probably 12 or 13. You ain't want them problems. But that's what secular cats got to go through. Now he ducked all that by being, no, I'm here to mentor. I'm here to. You see what I'm saying? I'm the positive figure in the game. So everybody has to give the positive guy respect. Even when you have a problem with his religion, you have to give the positive guy respect. And what he's saying is, give me respect until I can get the message over to you. You know what I'm saying? Now that's the ministry nonprofit side to LeCrae. You know what I'm saying? And I can respect that. But on the for-profit side of LeCrae is a rapper who is sub 500. You look at his whole discography, he has not. No. Even when Rehab was up for a Grammy, it had only sold 52,000 records. You have to go 500,000 to go gold, and 1 million to go platinum.
You know what's crazy? Like, he sold 50,000 records with the Rehab joint,
and was #1 in gospel.
Hey, but in hip hop, get this, Ace Hood had a record come out around the same time, and sold like 150,000,
and he got dropped.
and called trash.
Yep, and it's called going.
That's the different standard between hip hop and gospel industry. I'm just saying. Like,
so on the numbers side, so it's just a lot of facets to it. But I would say it almost goes back to, you just got to know what you're called to do and what you're willing to do to get it across. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can't do a LeCrae, and truthfully, I would say anybody who tries to go the LeCrae route, you probably ain't got what it takes. Because you may be able to rap really good, but you're not 6'7", you know what I'm saying, 6'7" and buff. You feel me? And you can't, you know what I'm saying, with the toneness and all that going on. You may not, you know what I'm saying, you may not have the swag with how you choose your clothing. You may not have the right, you know what I'm saying, makeup artists and fashion designers and stuff like that on your team. You know what I'm saying? You know, because some of that stuff has to come from people just liking you enough to do it for you. You see what I'm saying? You understand, Reach Records was dealing with a salary plus commission type of situation. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're signed to Reach Records, you have a salary plus commission, and so they have a staff that's trying to give you enough opportunities to make enough money that they're not paying you salary that you have not earned. That was one of the reasons that Sho Baraka left. That was one of the reasons that Andy didn't stay. You see what I'm saying? Because it takes all that together to try to make the whole thing happen. It happens at churches all the time. But here's the thing: you're a for-profit business. You don't get to do the stuff the church gets to do. You're for-profit. You're not a nonprofit. So more Christian organizations need to be nonprofits and get about their business. Attach them to a for-profit. Shouts out to Word of God Church and Ministries. They do that really well. You know, attach a for-profit to a nonprofit, and use that to get the influence you need to get. Because in those situations, now you can get in and out of situations. But if you stay for-profit and only for-profit, at some point you have to choose whether or not to leave your business alive if your business ends up to the point where it has to be supplied by secular customers.
And that's
Mike.
Sorry.
That's the thing.
Mike.
I mean,
sorry.
That when you were saying all that, I was just thinking, like, I mean, you know, do we want him to trailblaze this route for us if the way he has to do it is not be unashamed?
Nah, you just found out. Don't. Right. It's just that you found out. With, you know, sometimes when you get real close to the belly of a beast, you kind of, you know what I'm saying, you get past the effects that it's having. You get into how did it had to make certain moves to get in position and things like that. And you'd be surprised at what happens sometimes when people are just trying to get in position. But now once they get in the position, a funny story. It was a story that was told that was actually preached about how a certain church was trying to get a certain property, and so they had to you know, do a little sleight of hand. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A little sleight of hand through the phone or whatever to throw the other investors off so that they wouldn't purchase the property.
So basically,
it was dishonest. And then if we're being like that, you know what I'm saying? If we're being, but what it turned into was so, you see what I'm saying, was so necessary that it was necessary to get there. Now, have they taken other, what y'all would call compromises after that? I don't know. But I know they admitted to that one, and it is a lesson to be learned in it. It just depends on what you're trying to do.
So you saying we should be looking for LeCrae's next move?
You should follow his, you know what I'm saying? When I say follow, don't follow his move. At the end of the day, truthfully, if you like LeCrae, why? If LeCrae has your attention, why though? You know what I'm saying? If we're honest about the fact that he's not the greatest rapper, he may have the most expensive beats, but he's not the best rapper. What's his best hook? So what I'm saying is, you know, so the reason that you're watching him is for what? Is why? Because of the influence. You're watching his moves. Now why? Anytime you watch anybody's move, I can guarantee you this: you watch anybody's move, and the person you think is the closest to Jesus to the farthest away, you're gonna have to watch those moves and figure out which moves you would make and which moves you would not. It does not matter what level you think whoever is on. Mm-hmm. There's moves Donald Trump's making that you need to watch. Straight up, you need to watch and figure out some moves Donald Trump makes you definitely ain't gonna never do. Some moves you need to get to the bottom of that. Same thing's gonna happen with LeCrae. Same thing happens with your local pastor. You see what I'm saying? That's where you're going to get your wisdom from anyway, from life experience. But yeah, that's it.
So I forgot what we were talking about.
And this was another episode of Urban City Radio.
Oh, well, I'm ready to go lay down now.
Shout out. Yo, get your business game up.
Word.
We out. Boot up.
That was good.
That was fun.
This was fun.
That was fun right now.
I just learned so much, I feel like.
Yeah, me too.
Cause all
My head.